Hello, 6th graders. We are on 2-5 from our textbook, which is on subtracting integers. And our learning target today is I can subtract integers. All right, a question here for you to think about. How could you write a subtraction expression to represent this number line image? So we're removing up 6 and negative 7. How could you write a subtraction problem? Well, one of the ways that we could write this is 6 minus 7. So we're moving up 6 and then back 7. Then you could also write it, let me zoom in here. So 6 minus 7 equals negative 1. But you could also write it as an addition problem, but where you take the 7 and make it an opposite. So the opposite of a positive 7 is a negative 7. So 6 minus 7 turns into 6 plus a negative 7, which is then negative 1. Okay, to subtract an integer, you add its opposite. So we did addition yesterday with adding integers. So if we have the problem 4 minus 9, we could turn this into an addition problem and make it 4 plus negative 9. So we just took the opposite of the 9. And then we remember when we have different signs, we find the difference between them. So the difference between 4 and 9 is 5, and there's more negatives, therefore our answer is negative. And then on this one, 7 minus a negative 10, we turn it into addition, and we turn the 10, we get the opposite of negative 10, which is positive 10, and then 7 plus 10 equals 17. Okay, so here we have 8 minus 13. Okay, so we cannot take 13 away from 8 since we don't have enough, so we're going to turn this into an addition problem. And we find the opposite of 13, which is negative 13. Now we have 18 plus a negative 13. So since the signs are different, we find the difference between them, which is 5. And we have more negatives than positives, therefore our answer is negative. Next one, negative 10 minus 7. Negative 10, let's turn it into addition. And the opposite of a positive 7 is a negative 7. Now, signs are the same, so we add them together. Negative 10 plus negative 7 is negative 17. Okay, a couple for you to try on your own and then come back and check. 6 minus 12. Again, turn it into the opposite, so addition and then a negative 12. Signs are different, so we find the difference between them, which is 6, and we have more negatives, therefore our answer is negative 6. Negative 20 minus 15. Turn it into addition, sign changes to the opposite. Negative 20 plus negative 15, their signs are the same, so we add as normal, which is 35, and we have negatives. Negative 22 minus 26. Again, turn it into addition and change the sign. Okay. Negative 22 plus negative 26. The signs are the same now, so we can add them together. 22 plus 26 is 48, and they are negative. Here we are looking at subtracting negative integers. So we have 1 minus negative 2. So we keep the 1. Now we change our subtraction into addition, and we change the sign on our negative 2. So the negative becomes a positive. So it's just positive 2. Now 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay, next one. Negative 10, take the minus negative 17. Negative 10, we change the subtraction into addition. Opposite of the negative 7 is a positive 7. So now we have negative 10 plus 7. For this one, signs are different, so we find the difference between them, which is 3. And we have more negatives, so our answer is negative. Okay, a couple here for you to try, and then come back and check. 4 minus negative 12. 4, change it to the opposite. Then 4 plus 12 is 16. Negative 15 minus negative 5, so we have our negative 15. Change our subtraction to addition. The opposite of a negative 5 is positive 5. Negative 15 plus 5, our signs are different, so we find the difference between them, which is 10. Difference between 15 and 5 is 10. And we have more negatives, therefore our answer is negative. Next one, 18 minus negative 6, so we take the 18, do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. And the opposite of negative 6 is a positive 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. All right, now we are looking at evaluating an expression. So we are evaluating x minus y if x equals negative 6 and y equals negative 5. So let's plug these in. Negative 6 minus, and y is negative 5. Now we have a subtraction, so we're going to do the opposite. So negative 6, the opposite of subtraction is addition. Turn the negative 5 into a positive 5. Now we have negative 6 plus 5. We find the difference between them, which is 1. And we have more negatives, so our answer is negative. So all we're doing is plugging in our values into our expression and then solving. A couple here for you to try on your own and then come back and check. So b minus 10, and if we look up here, evaluate each expression if a equals 5, b equals negative 8, and c equals negative 9. So we plug in negative 8 for b minus 10. Now, negative 8, change it to addition, and we take the opposite of 10, which is negative 10. Now our signs are the same, so we can add as normal. Negative 8 plus negative 10 is 18, and we are negative. And there is our final answer. A minus b, so plug in 5 for a, minus, plug in negative 8 for b. Change it to addition, and we take the opposite of negative 8, which is positive 8. 5 plus 8 we know is 13. Okay, some key concepts for you for this unit, or for this lesson 2.5. Number 1, always leave the first number alone, so we never change the first number. Change the subtraction sign to addition, and then change the sign of the second number, and then add like we did with our addition rules. Some things here, chop chop and chop minus. Chop chop is when we have two subtraction signs. So for example, if we had 6 minus a negative 5. Well, if we think about that, what we said was we turned that into 6, change it to addition, and we made it a positive 5. So chop chop, think chop chop. Notice how they are the same. Next one, chop minus, is for a subtraction sign and a positive number. So now if we had 10 minus 13, okay, we would usually change this into 10 plus, and then we turn this into a negative, which is the same as chopping this and turning this into a minus. So those are some things that you can think about when you are working with subtraction. Think of chop chop and chop minus. Alright, you can go back and re-watch any part of this video, look in your book for examples, or watch the videos in the online textbook. Otherwise, go ahead and take your 2.5 NICU at this time.